Hey guys, Al here. You're about to listen to our day 2 coverage of Drawn, which was a fantastic art event that was held at the Shrewsbury Museum Art Gallery, organised by Cherie Jerrard. Like I said, this is day 2. The podcast for day 1 has also been released at the same time as this. So if you haven't listened to that chronologically, after this, make sure you go and take a look. This is the longer part of our coverage. It was a longer day. Day 1, I only stayed till 2 o'clock. Day 2, I stayed right to the end. So naturally, we got more interviews. There's more of a flow to this one, simply because on day 1, I was a little bit. I don't know. I was a bit run down and a little bit nervous about things that were going on in the background for Pod Aid. But I feel like there's more of a flow for this one. There's some really, really good interviews, actually. I think you'll agree. So thank you to everybody that spoke to me. It was really, really good speaking to you all. And I had a really good time sort of meeting new people and seeing some old friends as well. You'll hear in this. So yeah, I'm going to let you guys crack on and enjoy it. I'll catch up with you guys at the end. Enjoy Drawn Day 2, 2022. Right, so we're at day 2 of Drawn, and yesterday was a really good day. I had my day cut in half because my wife, very brilliantly and lovelily, I'm just making my own words up. She bought me she thought I was at Drawn till 2 o'clock, and bought me a ticket for the football. So we went to watch the football. So I left at 2 o'clock rather than 4. Whereas today I'm here for the whole day, and we're going to try and find some more great people to speak to. Maybe even catch up with some people from earlier on in the podcast to see how the day was before. There's a few people I do want to speak to that I spoke to yesterday and sort of booked in beforehand. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? Have you enjoyed what you've been listening to? Have you been inspired by some of the artists we've spoken to? What do you think of the question relay? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You know how to find me, Facebook, Instagram, and all that. And we're going to carry on with day 2 at Drawn. I'm looking forward to speaking to these folks today. And I found Sam Pooley-Stride at Drawn.
Hi, darling. You okay?
Surrounded by artists. This is where this is your domain, right? This is.
Oh, it's just so gorgeous, isn't it? I just feel like I'm having a party this weekend.
It's nice. It's like a social gathering, isn't it?
So it is so like that, and also what is really interesting is talking to lots of people. So many people make on their own, so they've got a studio in their house, or they. Yeah. So actually, us artists have quite a lonely.
Yeah, I've done that over the years.
An existence that's kind of quite solitary.
Yeah.
And actually doing things like this is so nice because you see people and you get inspired, and we've all been talking about each other's colour palettes this morning already.
Oh, wonderful.
It's really nice. It's really nice. And it gives you a bit of a boost and makes you feel like you're part of a good community.
And that's one thing I saw yesterday and this morning as well, is before this, because this opens at 10 o'clock, before it opened, I saw artists going around and looking at other artists' work and speaking to each other. I spoke to Gary yesterday, who was our first interview, he was right next to me, and that's what we just saw as I was speaking to him, and I was saying, do you get inspiration from other artists
all the time,
and steal ideas in a nice way, obviously, but get inspired and think, I could do a bit of that, I could take a little bit of this.
I get inspired, I also get very jealous.
Very jealous.
Like, not even envious.
Why can't I do that?
Properly. So I think I said this to you last time, massive, and I always talk about my fear, my my elephant in the room, which is like literally my whole, what's it called, Dan? When you have the inferiority complex, what's it called? Imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah, I'll get a bit of that. Yeah.
Anyway, so I spend a lot of time at events like this going, but I can't draw. I look at Gary and I'm like, but I can't draw. What am I doing here?
I do that. I've been doing that for 2 days.
I shouldn't be here. It's amazing. However, what I really get jealous of is colour. It's really interesting. I come and I get so excited about colour. And Dan Cat next door to me here didn't bring many prints yesterday, but he has got a print here that has got the sexiest colours in it. And then
pinks,
over there,
yellows,
odd
purples.
orange. Oh my God, her colour palette is incredible. So what I love about coming here is getting inspiration on colour. Colour is a big thing. The other problem with these things is I never make any money. Because what I end up doing is either giving everything away or buying other people's things.
You give me some mini prints today.
Well, I know.
As you was telling me about this, you were like, "Do you want this? Here, have that."
But it's good to have it. So for me, being here is about kind of just keeping my foot in and people knowing who I am. And this is my side hustle, isn't it? This is kind of my pop. So my big thing is the painting, and that's what kind of, want to be that serious artist. But this is about kind of scratching that itch to do other things.
I guess it spreads your reach a little bit more locally. I guess more people might not have heard of you, which is crazy to think of, but they might have seen you for the first time this weekend, and if they've had a freebie or something, you might give them an incentive to look into it a bit more.
Definitely. And the other thing is, Cherie and I have this thing, which is staying on the same thing all the time as a creative is actually really hard. So, if I painted every day, I would not, I don't think I could do that. So having ideas and getting it just keeps you fresh. It keeps you kind of going. So I've now just done the things I've just given you, these mini prints are part of a new series called Life Manifesto, and they are all sayings that we say every day. Some are rude, some are not rude. Yeah. So the one at the front is one, it's okay. The big one's eat the frog, which Claire Pink Mash and I say pretty much every day. We've got to eat the frog. Do you know what that means?
No.
Okay. So eat the frog is like, that thing that you've been avoiding for a week to do.
Yeah.
And you wake up in the morning and you go, I'm going to eat the frog this morning. And then you do it and feel amazing. I like that. So eat the frog's a big one.
I need to get that up in my studio. Those deadlines. Those deadlines.
So and at the moment I've done digital prints, and the idea is to work with Hopefully Made on doing a whole series of screen prints.
Lovely.
So it's nice. It's really fun.
I love your sayings and your catchphrases. What's the one? It's okay if you don't like me.
It's okay if you don't like me.
I love that.
My new one.
I love that.
My new one that I actually coined with my commune when I was very drunk. I've got a group of girlfriends that we call the commune, because when our husbands are all dead, we'll all live together. It'll be lovely. Anyway, so my new one is, we're so lucky with our people. And it is literally my favourite drunken saying of all time.
But this is what I mean. They're good mantras to have in your life.
But yeah, it just... So that time at university or that wedding weekend where it was the best time of your life, that's the saying. We're so lucky with our people.
I like that.
So the other thing is, it's all about trying to be really positive. Even I'm going to slightly swear, not properly swear, but even don't be a dick. It's kind of like a positive, negative, rather than, I'm just trying to kind of make people smile.
Well, don't be a dick is kind of one. It's kind of my. I have like a metaphorical sense of karma type way of being. Like, if you're constantly act like a snake, you'll always be remembered as a snake. You're that kind of guy.
Definitely.
So don't be that guy. Be someone decent.
Yeah.
Do something nice.
I think a while ago, I kind of don't be a dick, because it came into being because I only want to work with good people. Because we've all worked with dicks, and it's so boring, and it just makes everything really hard.
There's nothing against you Richards out there, by the way.
No, we love the Richards. We love all the Richards.
Just don't be a dick.
So yeah, that's me. Life is good.
I gotta say, I love seeing you at these events, because you pulse a positivity, honestly, and it's just, I'm always drawn to you whenever I see you at things, just because it's nice chatting to you. And I like to think that, I think I was chatting to Mike Perkins yesterday, and he was like, well, I've got a full-time job doing what I do. This is more for the community. This is more showing people what artists can be.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole idea of having Gary Drew here behind me painting it, so people can see him working.
And I think that's kind of how I feel about being here too. It's a busy life. I've got 4 kids, and I've got a grandson now, and I've got
congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I've got my London job, and I'm painting, and there's a lot going on. But doing these things for me is really important because it keeps you part of the crew. It keeps you part of the community.
Yeah.
And I could very easily go and sit up in my studio and just carry on doing, big paintings. And, I think this is the best bit about being an artist. It's the fun bit.
It definitely does do something. I mean, earlier in the year, I took my 15-year-old to Comic Salopia. We went for a walk around.
Amazing.
And he got to meet Charlie Adlard, and he loves The Walking Dead.
I love him.
And he's fantastic. And we had like our VIP sort of press badges, and Charlie drew a picture on the back of this VIP badge, and this is one of my son's most prized possessions now. And he's gone away and he's practiced the Charlie Adlard style of drawing, and now he's fantastic. In like 6 months, I've had to write to Mike Perkins seriously and be like, what do I do with this? Because he's picked his options in GCSE now. He's the trajectory he's picked is now sort of that way, but now he realizes he's good at art. Like, how do I nurture that? And what would your advice be to if you find someone that's in their teens or even in their 30s, I guess? I mean, like somebody that's just found out they're good at this thing. What are the steps to take to make it serious?
So I think the most important thing is to find out all the options of being a creative.
Yeah.
Because there are so many different versions of professional creativity out there. So, I used to work in advertising, and my job in advertising was to help young creatives get their first job. So art directors and copywriters. I would go
Mad Men
through them.
style.
Yeah. Like literally.
Yeah, really.
More than Mad Men style, because this was the 90s, so it was very rock and roll.
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
This is Saatchi and Saatchi, like really rock and roll. They were all.
If you haven't got a good idea, get out of the room. Like.
Yeah. And lots of exploitation and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of pinching bottoms. There was a lot of that stuff going on.
Wow.
So old school. Anyway. So even that as a job, like art director and copywriter, art directors, who come up with the ideas for advertising, they need to draw, or being a graphic designer, or being someone who works in, digital design, or even kind of creating gaming, the gaming world.
Course, yeah.
Like there's so many different ways to go that are commercial now, and I think it's about finding out all those different avenues, because I think it's amazing to have the big dream. I want to be a comic artist, right?
I want to be the next Stan Lee.
Yeah. Like I want to be the next Andy Warhol. Yeah, whatever. But we all need to have the big dream. But I also think we do need to have a sense of reality. So I think that having a professional career in a creative industry, I don't know what the stats are now, but. And it's criminal, by the way, what's going on in the education system now and how they're slashing the arts, because
no right doing that. No right.
The economics I can't remember the figure. It's unbelievable what the creative industries bring into this country.
I'm not being funny, but geeks and art nerds run the world right now. If it wasn't for geeks, artists, and nerds like myself, there would be no Marvel, there would be no Disney, there would be none of the stuff that people enjoy now that generates and pumps out millions and billions. Like
film, theatre, creativity. So
music.
Being in
George Ezra.
It is really, really exciting. The world is really exciting. But I think for a young person who can draw really well, don't just think I can be a comic artist. Think about all the other industries. Do you know what I mean? I think there's so many exciting projects out there that you can get involved in. As a 15-year-old, I also think it's about finding out what is out there and also constantly getting better at your craft. So I think Charlie does the life drawing classes.
Yeah.
Like go to those. Go to Bloom. Do some sessions with Kerry. She really could open up his mind in terms of other other kind of art rather than
Big
just
shout out to
saying,
Cherie. It's been a long time
love
since I
that
spoke to her.
bum,
Yeah.
love that woman. I call her bum bum. I think it's about constantly trying to get better at, the one thing about an artist is you can only get better by doing it.
Yeah.
Especially with real drawers.
It's like weight training, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like going to the gym, isn't it? It's the same thing.
The more you
It's
do
like,
it, the better you get.
The more you do it, the better you get. So I do think it's about like nurturing your practice. I'm sure Gary Drew would agree with me on that one. It's like, it's about just doing it every day, doing it differently.
Lovely. Great advice. Thank you so
very
much.
much.
I do have we're doing a thing this weekend called a question relay.
Yeah.
So I've got a question for you from Mike Perkins, and you're going to give me a question for our next guest, who I don't know who it's going to
Oh,
be.
how exciting. But you don't know who the guest is going to be.
Yeah, so I'll ask you Mike Perkins' question.
Okay.
It's a two, and this
Oh, God, I'm terrified.
is the first one is if you could choose one hue of colour, which one would you choose?
Oh, man, that was going to be my question. Oh.
And the other one is, where's Mike's donut? He really wants a donut, I guess.
I have donuts. Does he know that?
If you take him a
Does he
donut and
actually
say,
know-
here's your bloody donut, he'll know exactly
obviously,
what you mean.
I'm going to have to say pink because I've got pink donuts.
Pink.
So
Pink hue.
a pink hue. Pink features quite heavily in all my work. Pink and neon orange.
Yeah.
So, but
Like a neon pink then.
neon pink. Let's go neon pink. Let's go neon red.
Neon.
Actually. Let's change it. Let's go to the neon red, which
Okay.
kind of looks pinky.
Yeah.
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 Let's go for
exciting,
that
isn't it?
colour over there.
Yeah.
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 Thank you very much. Right. I was going to say, what's your favourite colour? I was going to make it a bit more base, but let's go for. I wasn't going to make it as pretentious as a hue.
Well done,
What
Mike.
is my favourite? What's going to be my question? My question's going to be, what did you do last night?
What did you do last night?
Yeah, because we were all really knackered. I went home and my husband and my daughter's husband were all drunk. It was hilarious.
I went to the football. For the listeners at home that don't know, I was meant to be here till 4:00. My wife thought I was here till 2, and she bought me football tickets to watch Shrewsbury.
Oh,
She was
but
lovely.
bless her.
And she was like, oh, she felt really bad. So I was like, no, I'll come. It's only 2 hours. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then Shane Shebsey came looking for me and said, oh, you weren't even there. And I was like, I'm really sorry.
But I met her finally at the Hive the other day. It was lovely.
She's lovely. She's really good.
Lovely. I bet she has to be bloody supportive of you.
She does. And, there's a lot of sacrifices made for us as a family in general, like, because, I do a lot of, like... weekend events, editing. Pod Aid has just consumed me. It's just been sat in my room for whole days on end, typing away.
So when is
graphic
that, by the way?
That's on Thursday, so this is going to go out afterwards.
Amazing.
But it's this Thursday, and I've still got to...
What else have you got to do? Can I help?
I'm going to go around and find some sponsors. On Monday, I'm going to be like, we've got an event in 3 days. Can you give us £100 to... So what we're going to do is every hour is it's got a time slot, so we can do advertisements in exchange for a sponsorship. Do you
Well,
know what I
I'll
mean?
give you £100. There you go. But also, you're going to do some competitions?
We were going to, but the logistics of it all has been an absolute bloody nightmare. So we were going to do competitions. I think our sponsors, Lifelines.
Yeah.
Dave Hamlet, great guy, local grassroots business.
Yeah.
It's an energy drink without all the crap in it. It's
Okay,
nice stuff.
cool.
He's going to give some stuff away, I think, as a competition. But we
Okay,
can do.
so I'm going to give you a competition.
Really?
Yeah, I am. So for my £100.
You're going to make me cry, by the way.
Don't cry. So I've launched this competition this weekend, but I'm going to carry it on till so you can do it at your event. Okay. So Life Manifesto is all about your family's mantras, your family's sayings. So like one of them's "I love you more than cheese."
Okay. Yeah.
So the idea is that people have to either call in or send you a message.
We're going to have a number to...
with their life manifesto, and the one that we choose on that day, will get their it made into a print for them. There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Cool.
That's fantastic. We'll keep that going.
There you
go. We will make the whole, because it's for 24 hours.
I'll send you the info so you've got it.
Send me
so
the
you've got the
info.
word.
And yeah, so that's thank you so much, by the way. That's really nice of you.
Pleasure.
Well, so yeah, that's my next few days is going to be finding sponsors, making sure everyone's situated where they need to be. There's a few guest packs that need to be sent out. I need to make sure the venue's okay. I need to set up the studios, make sure the graphic design's in place, edit some videos that go into...
Just a little bit of work then.
It's just a night. It's last year we had a team.
Lastminute.com.
Yeah. I've been working on it for 6 months. It's crazy, non-stop. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Once it's all together, I'm not complaining, by the way, because once it's all together, it'll be amazing. That's what life of an artist, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider myself an artist, but you kind of stress about what you're doing while you're doing it.
Everything you do is an artist. So everything from creating and talking's art.
I was talking about conversation being a lost sort of art.
Yeah.
You know, in a way, something that people don't do. I was talking about John. Do you know who John Bernthal is? The actor. He was in The Punisher and.
Oh yeah. I know who you mean.
Very sexy guy. Anyway, he's just released a podcast called The Real Ones, and he was chatting to Shia LaBeouf, who's obviously been had a troubled few years in the world. And he was talking to Shia LaBeouf, and I think people commented more on John Bernthal's ability to listen.
Yeah.
Rather than be like, oh yeah, dude, you know, he could listening and letting him talk, and I think that's really important when it comes to conversation.
Massively. Let's think about who are the best interviewers? Like literally the best ones. They're always the ones that pause.
Yeah.
That extra gap of word,
In fact,
words.
Some of the best comments I've ever had for the podcast was for the Shrewsbury Biscuit was actually about my pauses and my times of reflection, rather than the garbage that comes out of my mouth. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes
garbage is also good, though. And I would also say the bit that, because I say this with James Risden a lot when we make film or when he's making film, that as in, you know, when we're editing videos and stuff, the edit is so much harder than you think.
Yeah.
That's the bit for me. So for me, that's the real art.
You know the satisfaction when you're watching, I don't know, say snooker and they put all the balls in one go?
Yeah.
You get that satisfaction. Yeah. Oh, they did it in one. That's like audio editing for me. That's like when it all
comes.
When it's a mess and then it sounds amazing or looks amazing with video. That for me is like, oh my god, that's amazing.
But you know what? I think it's the same. I think that's the same with the painting. So particularly with abstract art. Because at the moment, you know, I'm at the stage, I've got 3 paintings on the go, and they're all at that shit phase, is what I call it, when all the words are everywhere, like all the paint is everywhere, and I know the colours, but I'm not sure quite what order they're in. And then suddenly, it all clicks into place.
Yeah, that's what I love what I do.
So I think that's the same as an edit. So we're all the same.
Yeah,
really.
we're all the same. Raving lunatics, that's where we are.
Yeah. Thank you very much,
Sam, it's been great chatting to you. For 20 minutes as well. Great chat. I love that. I love that. That's so good.
Time.
Yeah, very generous for your time. Have a great day today.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Okay, so we're sat here chilling with somebody who I spoke to last year. We had a really good conversation. Gisela Robinson, how are you? Good?
Very good, Alex. How are you doing?
I'm good. We spoke last year, and we were having a good time at Drawn.
Yeah.
How's the year been for you? Have you had a good time? You've been busy?
Yeah, I have been busy. I have been doing some exhibitions. I have been working a lot, and it has been really great. It's a lot of network that you do when you are in Drawn.
Yes.
And you meet people, you meet colleagues, and it's lovely to be in touch with them and to be able to just to know what the others are doing. Sometimes, you know, they lead you in the right direction. It's fantastic.
Did you make lots of friends last year that you still speak to today?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Some people that I have next to, the stall next to, this year we stick next to, and we are there talking. Some were divided because they are in the room upstairs, because we are more now.
Yes.
Or more people.
Spread out over 2 floors this year.
It's fantastic.
So you're next to Tat FB. How's that been for you? She's lovely, isn't she?
She is fantastic. She's a lot of fun.
Yes, lots of fun.
I love being close to her.
It's fantastic.
It is.
How much inspiration do you get from an event like this from other artists?
A lot.
Yeah.
I have to say, yes. I like to see, we usually work in similar themes, and it's nice to know what they are working on. It's nice always to see what is going on in art, because it's just make you reflect and see other perspectives.
Of course, yeah.
Nice. Although you have your own, it's nice. You always feel influenced by other artists. And here is a lot of talent, all very diverse, different things.
Yeah.
Very, very inspiring.
I think even though I was here last year and it was very similar in the way it's set up with the artists, I still get shocked by the different variations of art and how there doesn't seem to be anything the same here. It's all different, all completely different.
It's all absolutely different. Yesterday I was with a lady who is an artist as well, but she says, I can't find my style yet. And I said, but don't get obsessed with that, because we change all the time, and you see the things when you are evolving in your career, in what you do, you go changing, and you don't always do the same, and that's the beauty of it as well.
Salvador Dali didn't just stick with sticks and melting clocks, he went and did other things as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
So you've been busy working this year. Is there anything that you're excited? What's the most exciting thing you've been working on this year that you think, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, you know?
Well, I have been in talks with some schools to do workshops, which is nice. And
brilliant.
And I am planning that. And this is really exciting, just to have young
minds, sort of
yes.
artists.
I think this is where you learn the most.
Yeah?
It is, honestly, it's so sincere what they tell you when they look at the things. I am a Spanish teacher as well, and I'm used to work with kids, and I remember once teaching on some words, and I remember this little boy that I have it in my head forever, saying, I was doing the train thing, you know, this is the t for train, and choo choo choo. I said, this must be a Spanish train, because the trains don't do this, no, it's here. And you learn a lot, they will tell you the truth immediately, and with art it's the same. I don't like it, I like it, or I think it's a great audience, yeah.
I feel like working with kids, they reveal the real you, don't they?
Oh, no problem at all.
Have you got the patience to work with kids? Have you really? Have you actually worked with kids? Give it a go. Because kids can be brutal, can't they? As well?
Yes.
Lovely,
yes.
but brutal. And it's good to pass the torch as well when you're looking at kids. You know, they're the next generation of artists. You know, and you don't know where that inspiration's going to come from. I mean, we're talking about my 15-year-old boy Alfie, who got inspired by Charlie Adlard last year. Now he's drawn all this amazing comic book art, and I'm like, he's 15, just found this out, and now I've got to try and find a way to sort of encourage that and nurture it and push it forward.
It's amazing.
And that's just, it can come at any stage. I mean, how old were you when you realised that you wanted to be an artist?
I always liked art, and I did drawing as a child, but I didn't see it as a career. So I am a journalist, actually, and I am a social communicator, what we said, and I work in communications for 10 years for HSBC.
Oh, cool.
And I absolutely love it. It was fantastic. And I deal with a lot of illustration and graphic designers, and I got all this. And when I got the children, and this wasn't a job for me.
No, yeah, busy.
It was
busy.
too intense.
Yeah.
I went back to arts, and I absolutely love it. So it's another time of my life where I can really relax and look at the thing in a different way. When it's about books, it's good because I put both together. You see, the writing and the illustration, the graphic and art part. But I came back to it, and I did a degree on it when we were in Spain, and I absolutely love it. And I think it was the right time for me.
Wonderful. It's interesting, actually, because when it comes to expression of communication, there are different ways. There's obviously this conversation, body language, and there's art and music, and there's always all different types of ways of communicating with each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you know how people work, and you know how to make things or say things or create things that move people in emotionally, I feel like that's a gift. I feel like.
Oh yes, and it's absolutely all the art of communication, as you say. What you do, what people do when paint and communicate an idea with the painting, with the music, that you communicate so much.
Dance.
Without lyrics, and you communicate so much.
Yeah.
Dance, absolutely.
And when it comes to books and art that goes with books, I think it's so important to get that right. I mean, I was chatting to my little boy. He's doing Oi Frog in school at the moment. And I said to him, do you remember that we used to read that almost it was his favourite book. Have you had the Oi Frog?
No.
The cat sat on the mat. The dog sat on the log. Oh, I love it. But I used to do. I don't know if it's probably racist. I don't know. But I always used to do the frog as Jean Reno, as the French guy. Okay, and it's a little bit racist. But I don't know. It just sort of fit. And then the cat would be like really high pitched, really annoying, And I was like, we used to have such a good time reading these books as kids. But the artwork that he used to love. He didn't remember. He didn't remember us doing it as kids, but he's loving it at school at the moment.
He was into the voices of Daddy there.
Yeah, he loved that. He loves that. He does. It's really funny because obviously what I do with the biscuit and going out and doing things, he's very much like that now. He's very like, he will go out and he'll speak to people because he's so open-minded because he sees me doing it. It's kind of nice.
It is great.
That's nice. How was yesterday for you, Drawn? Obviously a year on. Did people recognise you from last year?
Yes.
Yeah?
So many people from last year, people who bought stuff and wanted to see what was on this time, and it was lovely to see that. Also, well, I had a lady from the museum who had some stuff to be that wasn't in condition, a big jigsaw of wood, really, really nice, but it was not painted, and she asked me if I could paint it, and I was delighted to paint that just for the children to play with it here in the activities they do. And for me, it is lovely, and I also volunteer to do some activities here because I think it's great to be in touch again with people and be able to contribute a bit there. Also, a lot of people that when I was painting the BT boxes, they said, "Oh, I saw you there, say hello at that time." So it's nice to meet again.
That was such an amazing event. I see that they painted over one, over one of the shops here. I don't know which shop it is, but one's been painted over.
Yes, I noticed yesterday.
And there was some old guy who had the manager. I can't remember which store it is. I can't remember, but he had the manager of the store who's going, "There was a mural out here. Why has it been painted over?" He was giving this guy what for. Can you imagine doing something like that? But yeah, the BT boxes brought the community, the arts community together last year. It was really nice to see.
We met with each other because it was middle of COVID, and it was a lovely way to reconnect with. For me to connect because I wasn't here before with artists and with the people, and really appreciating everything. It was fantastic.
Well, I think you're amazing. I think your work's fantastic. It really is beautiful, and the fact that you've got such an eagerness to sort of pass on the torch and help people develop as well is such a nice, warm thing to see. And thank you so much for being you. And I feel like I've made so many friends through Drawn, and I know that. My wife's family and stuff, I think they've connected.
We have been in touch.
Yes.
Great. I'm in the Latin community now, thanks to your wife.
Yes, wonderful.
Very much.
By the way, South American nights, there's lots of wine, lots of laughter, it's very fun. So I probably will see you at one of the events at some point.
For sure. See you soon.
See you soon. Thank you for chatting to me.
Thank you.
Hello, so I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.
Nice to meet you.
Day 2 at Drawn. Were you here yesterday, or were you just?
No, just up today.
Yeah, so I'm having a wander around. Obviously, they rotate the artists. So some artists will just do the one day, some stay for 2. And I was just upstairs, and I got drawn in by one of the most. It's like a simple design, but really effective. And it said, "I love SY" with the heart. And I just got drawn into that. Would you like to introduce yourself to our listeners?
So I'm Sukie Buzzacott. I do fashion design, but I do graphic design illustration as well as part of that. I've just brought today like a couple of sketches of like just different like animals or like different graphic design things like that. Just speak about.
Yeah. I was chatting to Sam Pooley-Stride earlier. She came and chatted to me. She's just in the corner there. And we were talking about my 15-year-old boy, Alfie. He's just found out he's really good at drawing like comic book artists. After being inspired by Charlie Adlard, he started copying his work and realised he was actually really good. 15 years old, just suddenly realised he's good, right? And she was talking to me about when it comes to learning about art, it's kind of like taking a step into all the different types of art, finding a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And with graphic design and fashion being under your belt and stuff, did you find your way that way? Did you try a little bit of everything and realise what you were good at?
I think because I did an art foundation at Falmouth, and I did the same what you were describing. Like I did like a bit of like photography, did like some video stuff as well. So you kind of like touch on all different topics. Yeah. And I did fashion design at university, but we also did stuff like photo shoots and magazine projects and stuff like that. So we did that's when I started doing like graphics when I was doing my fashion design course as well. So it's kind of like all kind of merged the different creative things, really.
When you find those one or two, or in your case, many niches that you're really good at, that you like to make, is there like a parting of the clouds, that kind of moment where you realise, actually, this is for me.
I think when I started doing more graphic stuff in fashion, it just like flowed, and I just found it really like just clicked. It's just really easy for me to just come up with loads of different ideas in that way. So that's what I do with my work. So.
And as a fashion designer, I mean, I've spoken to Cherie before. I know she does a bit of fashion. We spoke to some guys yesterday that does fashion as well. How does that affect your mind on a day-to-day, walking around looking at people's clothes, and are you constantly thinking of new ideas? Do you get inspired everywhere you look?
Yeah, I think with fashion it's sort of like everyone's individual style, and you sort of like take parts of that, and then you can sort of. I look a lot of like at vintage clothes.
Okay.
Taking ideas from that and then just like reinventing them, basically.
Like a fusion of modern and traditional clothes. I like that. It's really interesting because I feel like there's like it's like a niche, but it's something that like everyone's kind of aware of. The kind of the frilly collars on a really nice looking. I don't know how that goes, but like it's nice when something looks unique but cool at the same time. And so what have you been doing with fashion? Is there anything that you've been working on that you're really, really proud of?
So I've just finished my job at Kent & Kerwin. I designed like the main rose emblem for them.
Wow.
I do like all the patch design and stuff like that. And then I've worked at Gibbs & Hawkes, Cerruti, Aquascutum. But I'm just starting a new job actually next week at Hand & Knock.
Wow.
Which is in London, which I'm really excited about. But it's like it'll be kind of agency work because it's like they bring loads of different projects with different people every day. But that'll be mainly sort of like doing graphics and like annotations for like different prints or embroideries and stuff like that.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wonderful. And like coming to draw on in Shrewsbury, are you local to Shrewsbury?
I'm from Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
I moved back to Shrewsbury during the beginning of the pandemic. And now I'm just moving basically kind of back to London now.
Okay. But drawn back here. It's weird because over the last 4 years doing the Shrewsbury Biscuit, I speak to so many people that are either from Shrewsbury, move away and end up coming back. But in your case, it's kind of...
I've been kind of back and forth since 2020, really.
Something about this town that brings people back. Or people like myself, who's not from Shrewsbury, come here and it's just like, oh, do you know what? This is fine. This is fine for me. Not going anywhere. This is... it's not perfect. But as far as arts are concerned, the environment around here and the culture that's growing with the arts.
Yeah, it's definitely really up and coming as well.
Yeah.
Especially with the arts.
Do you find a lot of inspiration at events like that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And like even like the arts trail and stuff like that, it seems to be like getting better every year. Like
that's just got some insane press, isn't it, over the last few weeks? Andrew Logan, we've been playing this email game of tennis. Trying to organise a day where we can sit and do an interview. Life's busy. We haven't been able to nail it down yet, but I will do eventually because what he did with the Arts Trail is just phenomenal.
Love the egg.
The egg is famous now. You can't have it. You can ever get rid of it.
I don't think they should move it.
No, it's just famous. Everybody goes to that egg for that photo. You know what I mean? So it can't go anywhere. When you come to an event like this, what do you look for as a designer? Obviously, like it's nice speaking to people come to your store. When you're looking at these other artists around the room, is there something you're looking for in particular to get inspiration?
I think like different techniques people have used. So like if they're doing like different types of printing or like different types of like, I don't know, like different materials they've used, even if it's just then printed again at the end. Just how it's all put together, really.
John Ragg, who's on a podcast a while ago. He's got an exhibition at the Hive at the moment, really nice geometric shapes and stuff. An elderly gentleman, he's became quite fond of what I do with the biscuit, and it's really nice. I brought him out. He's speaking to a few artists around here today, and he's speaking to Cherie about how he gets the colours that he does by doing I'm not an art guy, so he was talking in a completely different language to what they were speaking, and they were like, oh my God, you do it that way? I don't do it that way, I do it this way. And they were just having this amazing conversation where he was inspiring them it was just weird to see artists and how they sort of converse about what they do and the different techniques. It's nice to be a part of that. What's been the feedback for you today? Have been lots of people speaking to you, come saying hello?
Because I've got lots of people have been very friendly and saying hello and asking about the work. But because I've got the store with Nathan, who's my boyfriend. People are very drawn to his collages as well. But people asking about the I Heart SY, or I've got like, did you see the wiggly man in the middle?
Oh, I didn't.
There's like this. It's kind of like Matisse inspired, but it's like this sort of like octopusy man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, people are asking a lot about that.
I guess the guys at Nerdy Cafe might be interested in that. They've got the Octopussy style logo there, haven't they? I love that, though. I love that. I mean, how do you find inspiration for things like that, though? I mean, like, when you're sitting at home and you want to create something new that will draw people in, where do you find the drive for that?
With that, so Nathan does do, like, figure drawings, and I was kind of thinking about doing one that was a bit more, like, I'd been doing these like floral designs that were kind of like really curved and like the outlines were quite like crisp. So I kind of wanted to do like a person that was kind of in a similar sort of fashion. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, I can't do what you do, what Gary Drew does, what people. I converse. That's my art. I guess is I converse. So when I see that and I hear the cogs turning in your head when you explain that sort of thing, that for me is like it's really nice to hear because I'm not a part of that world. I can't do it. I guess I probably could if I put my absolute mind
I'm sure
to it.
you could. I'm sure you could.
Is there anybody here that you've never met before or been aware of that you've?
I haven't had a proper look around in this room yet.
Yeah.
But I've met some people upstairs that I haven't met before.
Nice. How can people find your art and take a look at what you do?
So I've got Instagram, sukie.buzzacott. That's the main place to look at the moment, really.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've got a question. So what we're doing today is, the last 2 days, we're doing a question relay. So I've got a question for you from Sam Pooley-Stride. And I'm going to ask you for a question for our next guest.
Okay.
And now, I think the idea behind this question was for mainly people that were here yesterday, but you're preparing for an exhibition or today, what's going on. So it could kind of, and it was basically, what did you do last night? Basically, I guess, maybe to prepare for today.
Well, yeah, mainly just getting stuff ready for the stand. That's what I did last night, yeah.
Is that a good thing for you? Do you enjoy meeting you? Because I know that art is kind of a solitary thing at times.
Yeah.
But coming out and actually speaking to people and having people coming up and maybe even judging your art to your face. I mean, that could be quite daunting. How do you prepare for that?
Well, I think the whole reason why I wanted to do the stand as well with Nathan was just to share our work.
Yeah.
And like, even if people aren't like obviously buying loads of things, even just for people to see it and then just to be like interested in it and to have a conversation about it, like that's most important.
The I Heart SY is what drew me to, and it's weird, isn't it? Because it's such a simple thing. We all see the I Heart New York thing, and it's just one of those things. But I've not, it's nice.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I wanted people to obviously see it and then be like, oh.
And it's weird because you've got some beautiful, genuine art there,
that's what
and I'm drawn to the letters and
lots of illustration stuff, and then I just do a graphic.
It goes to show the power of graphic design.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it just triggers something.
Do you have a question for our next guest? I don't know who it is actually.
What work are you most proud of?
That's a really good one. We haven't had that one yet. What work? We had some really funny ones yesterday. So.
I didn't realise it was supposed to be a joke question.
Brilliant. It's been nice to chat to you.
Yeah, thank you
for coming. Yeah, this has been really nice. This is the beauty of things like this, is making new friends and meeting new people. And I very much thank you for maybe inspiring a few listeners by chatting to us.
I hope so.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Right, so I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself to our listeners?
Okay, so my name's Ash, and I run a small screen printing studio just outside of Shrewsbury. We hand screen print everything from t-shirts, tote bags, paper prints, aprons, tea towels. We'll give anything a go. So
I feel like I'm possibly seen you guys about somewhere. Have you worked with other businesses around Shrewsbury? Have you?
One or two. We've done some t-shirts for the Shrewsbury Coffee House.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah. So they did that really nice video of you guys making the t-shirts.
Yes. So that was actually our first commission, and it was a 3-colour design. So we just started out, and I was like, right, cool, let's get some 1-colours in, and then they come in with this 3-colour, and I'm like, well, it went well. It's fine.
You learned to run before you could walk.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, we can do that.
That video must have done wonders for you guys, because I remember looking at that thinking, who are these guys that make t-shirts? Obviously, being the narcissistic podcaster that I am, I was like, maybe we'll get some local producers to make t-shirts for us. I haven't reached out because I've been so busy, but it's nice to see. But did lots of people get in touch because of that?
Yeah, it slowly trickles in. We get like 3 or 4 emails a week, which is quite good. And then obviously not all of them pan out, but we're probably doing like 2 or 3 commissions a week.
Nice. And is this something that you've always done?
So no, we actually started in the start of lockdown because I was losing my mind, and I was like,
Yes.
if I'm just going to start it, I may as well start it now. If I can make it work now, then I can make it work whenever. That was my logic.
COVID was an interesting time, especially when it comes to businesses that were created and artists that were formed and these things that happen, because you either get the really like, oh, COVID was terrible, I lost my job, which is really bad, it was a terrible time, or you get, actually, I saw an opportunity in this, I was at home and I thought I'm going to do something, and next thing you know, there's a business that's come out of it. There's like, it's really nice that you get that kind of, as a contrast, it's like a pH scale, isn't it, So yeah, you're at home, you decide to make things.
Yeah, so basically I was in uni and I just decided it's what I wanted to do, and I just came up with a plan. I literally had the whole thing scoped out, and it was just like a matter of when. And then I used to work at another printer's in Birmingham, and he knew I wanted to start it, and he was upgrading his equipment. So he just out of the blue offered me his old equipment, and I just couldn't say no because it was a good offer. And then it was like, oh, we need to find a new place. We need a studio. And then within 2 weeks, it all just kind of fell together. So we were very lucky in that aspect.
Nice. And the equipment that you're talking of, is it big beastie equipment? Is it?
Yeah, so we've got a 5-head, one of them's broken.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 5-head carousel, which is like a big circular manual machine. So there's boards on it where you load the t-shirts or the bags. And then there's like little arms that hold screens. So it's all a manual process. So I have to bring down the screen, print the whatever it is, bring it back up, take it off, and then go again.
There's something really nice about that, though. It's like handcrafted.
I think that's where the charm comes into it. So like digital printing is fine. You can go and do that, but I just think like there's something nice about it being handmade, and like all the inks have been handmade, and it's just a bit more personal. It's like, yeah.
I learned a lot about printing. I've forgotten the name of the artist. I'm very sorry. It was a few years ago. We were at the Open Arts Studios. That was at Participate a few years ago, and I was sat next to Tat. So I met Tat FB. We were sat on the same table. I had my biscuit stuff, and she was doing her thing there. And we were chatting for a whole day. And there's a lady doing acrylic, like press print. So she was cutting shapes into tiles and the paint, and then bam, and it was just this amazing art that she'd created, different pressures and stuff. And it made me appreciate that the difference between, like you said, something laser printed or digital printed, something that's actually made with someone's hands, like what you're doing. So the t-shirts actually mean more when they come out.
Yeah, I think every art process has its perks, and they all have their place. But yeah, all handcrafted goods, whether it be like jewellery, clothing, painting, whatever it is, I just think handcrafted goods are just where it's at.
Amazing. And like since obviously lockdown, you've been doing the Shrewsbury Coffee House stuff, and you're saying you've got emails coming in and stuff. Is it becoming too busy for you almost? Are you enjoy it?
Me and my partner Joey, so we're the ones who run it mostly, and then there's a few other artists that are involved, which you can find on our website. But so we actually have full-time jobs
as well.
So this is like evenings and weekends kind of job.
Wow.
But it's getting to the point where hopefully maybe I could drop some hours and then do some more on it. Or
That's really nice.
Just see where it goes. But I'd love to do it full time. That is the goal.
I love it. I love when you see some of these new ideas get traction like that.
Yeah.
It must be a difficult time for you though, because you're kind of like, oh my God, I don't know if it's hard to take the leap, isn't it? The leap of faith and quit your job and be like, I'm doing this now, because you just, in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, what if it doesn't pan out? Or like that. I'm not saying it probably will for you guys, but in my head, the Shrewsbury Biscuit, I could probably maybe, I don't know, do something like this full time, but I don't know if I'd make enough money doing it. So it's just taking that leap of faith.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we're getting there. We're not there yet, but it's definitely on the way. Plus, but just with the UK situation right now, it's like I'd rather wait for it all to calm down. Yeah. And then when it's on the come up, then take the leap.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, finding that right moment just to take a step. That's really good. Yeah. So you're plotting and scheming to make the best of it, and you deserve that. Talk to me about your designs then. How did you learn how to perfect these designs? Did it take a long time? A lot of practicing, lots of experimenting to get it right.
So, my partner Joey is like the main designer of our t-shirts and totes. Like I said before, we have other creatives. So we have Daisy, Nemo, and Alice, who supply everything from lino prints to cards, and then we take those and then we apply them to t-shirts or totes as well. And it's all a collective, so they all get X amount of money for it. So there's incentive there, and we promote them. And
it's nice that you're collaborating with other artists, so that's really nice, actually.
Yeah, and we're trying to get to the point where we can take on more, so that'd be good. But sorry, back to your question.
No, it's fine.
So all of us, we went to the University of Lincoln. We did graphic design, and we all went down our own avenues. But a lot of us made like Etsy shops, where we just played around doing what we do, and we just found like the cut that Etsy takes sucks. So I just started this, and then we all just came together. So it's just like years of doing what we want to do and just seeing if it works. So yeah, like I said, Joey
Etsy's a weird one, isn't it? Because it became such a positive thing, Etsy. Especially during COVID. Oh, Etsy. But it seems like they've cut off their own nose to spite their face a little bit. Because I've seen a lot. I'm friends with a lot of artists on social media, and there's been a lot of noise about that. So I feel like you're making the right decision there. I can't say anything though because I haven't got an Etsy store. Do you know what I mean? And have you guys found your own sort of style now? Have you fallen across your own sort of niche?
Yeah, we found. Yeah, it's like I said, it's trial and error, isn't it? Like we've got a jumper up for pre-order right now, which gets a lot of traction, but I don't know, it doesn't pan out always.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd love it to.
Yeah.
But that's just the game. Like you could make something and you get loads of sales, or you can make something and you get like 5. So it's just figuring out which ones work and which ones don't work.
Well, you guys are obviously doing something right, honestly, because you guys have grown. I knew of you soon, but I was kind of like seen your t-shirts before, but I couldn't think where. And that like I said, that Shrewsbury Coffee House exposure that you guys had was really good. And I really do wish you guys the best of luck in the future. And
thank you.
If you ever want to come on, if you bring some cameras or something to you guys and see what you guys do, I'd love to do that. Give you guys a feature on the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll make sure the studio's clean.
That's fine. A studio's not meant to be clean, and we know that. I know that at the Biscuit. I mean, I remember I've been at studios that just absolute crazy mess, but I love that as a picture or as something to film at. That's what a studio should look like to me. My studio at home is meant to look clean because it's all like computers, mixers and microphones, but it's just leads and microphones and just stuff everywhere at the moment. So.
Yeah, just don't look at the floor. Yeah.
Thank you for chatting to me. Let people know where they can find you.
Yes, so we have our own website, which is www.d&sstudio.com, where you can find our shop and everything about our creatives and literally everything, where we're going to be at other markets. And then you can also find us on Instagram, which is at DNS Studio, and we post on there all the time.
Instagram's great. I love it. What we're doing this weekend for all the guests, we're doing a question relay. So Sukie has asked you a question, and then we're going to ask you to ask a question for the next guest. Okay?
Which one is Sukie?
Sukie's upstairs.
Oh, okay. I'll have a look later.
She's great. I got drawn in. It's weird because she's got all this amazing, beautiful art, and they've got like these cards with I Heart SY on it, and I got drawn to that more than. It's weird. We had a really nice conversation about it. But her question to you was, what work are you most proud of?
What work am I most proud of? That's a good question. I would say the one I'm wearing, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. So for people that can't see me right now, it's like Monster Relief illustrations. So it's a pink T-shirt with green print, or it could be a natural T-shirt with a green print. Yeah, this one just really kicked off. So we're going to keep restocking this one in different colorways.
that was the moment when you were in the zone and it's worked for you. Really, I like that. Have you got a question for our next guest? We don't know who it's going to be. I don't even know who it's going to be. I'm just going to grab someone off the floor.
Okay.
Put you on the spot. Yeah.
And isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be as cryptic, as simple, or as silly as you like it to be.
I would say that what inspires you to make your artwork? Like, is it from things you see or other creators? Or is it just, you just have a crazy brain and you can just come up with it? So where's your inspiration come from?
What inspires you to make the art that you do?
Yeah.
This was really interesting. We asked that to Mike Perkins. Yes, it is a good question because Mike Perkins over there, Mr. Marvel DC superstar, and he was like, really, really, really old comic books. And I was like, oh, okay. That's because you look at his art now, and it's very modern, very beautiful artwork. To think that he goes back and looks at the art of yesteryear to sort of try and live up to those standards is quite good.
Yeah, give it a fresh twist.
Yeah. Make your art. Brilliant. I've written that down. We'll get that to the next guest. Thank you so much for chatting to me. I've really enjoyed chatting, finding out about you, and we will. I'll give you my card, and we can meet up at some point, and we'll do a proper feature.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. All right. Brilliant. Nice one. Thank you. We managed to grab the main lady, who's been here, there, everywhere. Today, the organizer, Cherie. How are you? And Pearl, of course.
Hello. Hey, Alex.
How has, first of all, I think we need to talk about sort of like, let's go into it before, so obviously we had a chat with Mike in the Daily Brews about the plan of this place. Has it all gone to plan?
It's been even better, I'd say. It's gone really well, but I'm not out of it yet. Something could still go wrong. Yeah, I mean, look at it now. It's buzzing, isn't it?
It's buzzing. You know what? I was saying to someone, I think it was Dan, that Sundays usually last year was a bit more mellow, a bit more relaxed, but it's really perked up, hasn't it?
Well, I've got to remember that people do come out later on a Sunday. So, like yesterday, people were queuing to get in when the doors opened. But on Sunday, it picks up about 11. So, mental note to self. We probably should... mind you, it's nice having that hour because everyone gets to talk. I was really enjoying that hour this morning. I went round and I had held conversations that usually got cut short.
Yeah, because when you're organising an event, I know from experience from organising my own events over the time, and everybody's like, well, what's it? Where's this? And can I do this? And what's going on here? It must be difficult to sort of focus on one thing for a long time when you're in the moment. And
Can I do a little disclaimer that I go to bed at night and I suddenly think of all the conversations I started but never finished. And then I feel so... It's
the messages on Facebook and the emails that you haven't answered for a few days and things like that. It's one of those things that's definitely relevant to me. And, and I think a lot of people that do similar things, whether you're an artist, run a company, or whether you're a busy mom with lots of kids with lots of these things happen, and sometimes you got to sort of take yourself that moment, an hour, that hour where you got to slow down.
I don't think I've done that for a while. I think I might try and take some time out this week. But
you really should, Mum.
I don't know when yet. There'll be loads of, I don't know, but I have to say it's so heartwarming. Everybody who's helped me. And everybody who's helped create this lovely, supportive environment for each other. I'm just so grateful that when I haven't got time to spend with people who supported me, I wish I had. And that's what I don't like, because this is just so great that
This community that we've been talking about for the last 2 days on this particular episode is grown into something that you said is quite wholesome. There are people here that, in your stead, while you're running around doing your thing, which people appreciate, will step into that fold and sort of offer that supportive hand and explain what this is and who these people are. And
isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
And really, really, I couldn't have hoped for better. All I would like to do is come back in someone else's body and shop. Maybe with someone else's purse as well. But because this is the event I want to go to, and I'm not going to it, but I'm organising it. So I would love a day here myself
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? And Pearl, you've been supportive with your mum. You've been doing lots of running around yourself and helping out and organising.
I checked my watch yesterday and I'd ran up the stairs 34 times.
I didn't know that.
Yeah? How many steps did you do yesterday? About thousands, I imagine.
I don't know. I don't want to check.
What's it like, though, seeing your mum doing this thing? Are you proud of your mum?
I'm very proud of my mum. I've told people about it with proudness.
She's been telling people I've been grumpy.
Well, yeah.
I think the word is focused. We're going to use the word focus.
Yeah, focus. That's the right word.
Headstrong. This is something I need to do. That's all that's in my mind at the moment. Because otherwise, like, if you put that pen down, you're going to forget where it is, metaphorically speaking.
Oh my God, that is what is going on, though. I'm putting things down and forgetting where I put them, but people are picking them up for me, which is why I'm so grateful, to be honest.
Have you got a message for all the artists that have taken part today? The people that have got their own stalls today, that have been out here for 2 days?
Well, it's obviously thank you, but I understand, having been where they are, that it requires a certain amount of bravery. It's hard to sit behind a stall, especially when you haven't sold anything, and smile and let people look at your stuff and stay strong. Because you will sell something, and there are so many people here that you're going to find that person that's into what you're into. Mm-hmm. It's just having the patience to sit and smile and not lose faith in who you are.
It's like a double-edged sword, isn't it, here today? Because obviously the people are here to sell their wares and improve their reach as far as like showing people what their products are and what they're made of. But also at the same time, there's artists speaking to artists and finding inspiration in that.
Yeah.
And that hour you were talking about right at the beginning, that was really something I picked up on, is that I saw artists talking to Dan here about his machine, and people come and see Gary here doing his thing and taking mental notes. And so it's like a learning process for us all. He's been the star of the show. He's giggling in the corner here, but every single interview is there's Gary here. He's right next to me.
I bet it's not the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, it's the Gary Biscuit podcast.
The Gary Biscuit podcast.
Hang on, isn't that the Gary Boldy?
The Gary Boldy? What do you think of that Gary Boldy podcast?
He used to lose his hair.
That sounds pretty good. Get back to work. Stealing the show. I love it, though. I love this. I love it because it is just like, there's no pressure. It's just a place where, people can come. The walkway through is so breezy. People just walk through. The route's really nice. And
sad we've run out of bags, isn't it? It's nice to have a bag to give someone.
Oh, it took ages to fill those bags.
Yeah, but I kept giving Pearl this. To be fair, Pearl lasted longer than she did last year.
I can't believe I lasted so long.
Yeah,
but
last year she gave up quite early.
Do you know what's been the best thing this year? I've gotten free food.
Where from? Where's this free
Someone
food?
gave me a donut. Someone gave me a hot chocolate and another donut.
Yeah, big shout out to Brown and Francis, because Pearl's now addicted to their donuts, so they're going to see me on a regular.
Well, one of the questions, we've been doing a question relay over the last 2 days, and one of the questions from Mike Perkins from someone earlier was, where's my donut? So I don't know if we managed to get him that donut. We'll have to find out. So
I feel like there was a point where I wanted to buy everyone drinks, and but then somebody totted up how many drinks I was going to have to buy, and I thought, okay, well, I'm also one of these struggling
bought
artists.
bags for everyone, Mum. It's okay.
Yeah, I've got a bag here placed right in the middle of my stage here. Thank you very much for the stage, by the way. I've loved sitting here.
We've elevated Alex this year onto a plinth.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in now, I don't know why I said that, but it's not live. I'm on a plinth style stage, and I've been above everybody.
When I first told him, you had that look of like, you're going to put me up there.
Yeah, because when it comes to audio, I'm very confident of my abilities, but like when it comes to self-esteem and people looking at me, I'm like, but it's been really, really nice actually, because we're in the corner here, and it's been quite intimate. It's not been a nice space to sit and speak.
I really want to get you some real chintzy chairs and do about like a Terry Wogan set next year. So you maybe could touch your knee, and
we get some like royal red sort of backdrop.
Yeah,
and a like a lamp.
And a backstage so you can appear.
There we go. Pearl, can we make that happen next year, yeah?
I'll see what I can do.
Speaking of next year, I was chatting to your fella, and he was saying we need to go bigger next year.
Who said that?
Your fella, he was saying.
Paul.
Oh, really? How big can we go?
We can go so big. We need to book the
I think that's
quarry.
a question. How big does your ambition lie with this? Is this okay, or do you want to go? Do you want to go bigger?
I definitely want it to be a national recognised event. People, we've got people here from Birmingham today and Manchester, but I want that to be the case because look what we've got to offer.
Yeah, we've got even someone from Marvel.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike Perkins, and he's been offering lots of great advice to people. He really has.
He?
He's been chatting to a lot of people.
I might get a bit of that.
I want to give a shout out to John Ragg, who came up from Oaken Gates.
Yes.
Who's really nice to bring around because I interviewed him and I explained what's going on. He said, "Oh, I don't know, I've got to come up on the bus and stuff." But he got really sentimental outside. He was very grateful that I invited him round, and he got to sit and talk art with fellow artists, and I think that's what he appreciated more than anything. So
I could have talked to him longer because I was really intrigued about his techniques that he was saying about. He puts oil on top of acrylics on watercolour paper. So, yeah.
And I was talking about that recently. One of the interviews I just did, I was sitting there and I was kind of eavesdropping on that conversation. And you guys are talking a completely different language to me.
Oh, you mean like when you just helped the DJ with his
Just
setup
gobbledygook.
and,
Oh, yeah.
you were talking another language to me. I was like,
Yeah. I mean, I've got a question from this question relay that we've been doing. And it's from Ash from DNS over there. And he's got a question for you, and I was wondering if you could ask a question for the next guest, all right? Maybe between you. So his question for you is, what inspires you to make what you make, your art? What inspires you at the time? Is it people? Is it places?
That's a good question, but I've got a lot of fashion training, and it's for good and bad. It makes me look for things that are bubbling up, like a new vibe that might. That sometimes it's pulling from stuff. It goes in circles. I've noticed people are wearing now what I was wearing, and generations before me. But I have the best ideas I get when I'm having fun and not trying to force ideas. So
that's really good.
And I think because I'm in the process of moving, I'm looking for the next. I'm excited about the future because I've got a clean slate. I've got a new house, a new studio on the horizon.
Yeah, I can't wait to move.
Yeah, Pearl's so keen. And we're moving to this really creative part of Shrewsbury that I'm excited about.
Lovely house.
There's lots of fresh stuff coming from me that I can feel is on its way.
I really find that interesting that when your brain's sort of reset and you're not thinking about art, that's when you get your most inspiration.
Yeah, which is ironic. I heard a Grayson Perry lecture once where he says ideas are like little animals that need coaxing out. You can't sort of
force them.
Yeah, you have to pretend you're having fun. Let's play, and then they come out. But I can't do that moment because life's a bit serious for me. So it's just a great triumph.
I'm very much the same as you when it comes to ideas. With I'm always come up with new ideas, and I need to sort of restrain myself a little bit sometimes because I'll wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning with this idea.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I need to write this down now, or I need to go now with it. I need to run with it, and I've had to stop doing that because I've been giving myself a little bit too much to do.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you. I have to definitely write it down so that I can move on, but you can look back at those ideas later and think, I should have leapt on it. I shouldn't. They're like bubbles; they pop if you don't get them in that moment. So I don't know. It's too much sometimes, isn't it?
It is. And do you have a question for our next guest? I don't know who it's going to be. I want to speak to Saf, I think.
Saf.
Or anybody. I don't know. It might be. It might not be. But if you got a question for them, we're going to keep this relay going. Maybe Pearl. Have you got an idea for a question?
Will they buy me a donut?
I don't know. Because Saffron's great, and she seems so calm with it, doesn't she? She's there's a lovely, calm, serene vibe about their stall. I can see it from here.
So
she's got less confidence than you'd think, though. When you talk to her about, sometimes I think she's
got no right doing that because she's fantastic.
No, exactly. That's the ironic thing.
So what kind of questions do you get asked all the time where you think, oh, actually, either that's a fresh question, I love that, as a question, or maybe that's a difficult one to answer. Like,
I don't think anybody asks me that.
Apart from me.
They ask me questions about marketing and how to brand their products quite a lot.
so maybe we can ask a question: how do you sort of sell yourself as an artist?
Yeah, right.
Yeah?
Dan. Hi, Dan. Dan's come to do his workshop at the end of the day.
Nice.
Is he doing the
But
comic?
He's doing the last one.
So I'm going to write that down as how do you market yourself? Is that a good question?
Well, you are your brand when you're an artist, so it's really confusing. It's quite nice to have an external person to look in, because your product is also your brand. And when you're a company, quite often you'll have a marketing department and a creative department.
Yeah.
And those two become one when you're your own business.
That's interesting.
But I've done work on both sides, so yeah, sometimes, mostly people will ask me about their packaging. Because they've already got their product nailed. It's just the finishing touches.
How do you take something and make it palatable to be able to be sold?
Yeah.
So
You've recently moved from cellophane to stickers on
Yeah,
the
that's
cards.
right. Yeah, well, I've tried to be more sustainable. I mean, we all have, haven't we? Small victories.
So maybe there's an ethical question there then.
Yeah.
How do you stay ethical as an artist?
I don't know, though. I mean, we're all just trying to make money sometimes.
Yeah. There's a fine balance
I
there.
need a question to ask, don't I? Come on, pal, what's a good question?
To challenge the mind of an artist.
Yeah.
Would you be able to host an event like Drawn?
Could you do something like this?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Next year, Saffron draws.
Yeah.
Great question. Something like this.
My friend Barbara's here as well, look.
Hi,
Right.
Babs.
I illustrated Barbara's book.
Zigzag.
Amazing children's books.
Wonderful. Well, Cherie, thank you so much. Are you already planning next year's event? And
No, because psychologically I
need a
little
break.
rest.
Yeah,
If I
I
start
don't-
planning it, then I'm all in.
You're already
I'm all
planning
in.
moving. That's enough.
Yeah, well, no, I do commit myself, and especially when you see how many people are relying on me.
Yeah.
I mean, the weight of that really makes you
to put into
focus.
perspective, as we're doing this, as people coming to say hello to Cherie as we're doing this interview, it's quite nice,
Nice,
actually.
isn't it?
So I'll let you go because I know you're a busy bee, but thank you so much for organising
Hang on a
it.
minute, I haven't thanked you.
Oh no,
Thank you.
I'm just here doing my thing.
I feel like I should be singing happy birthday now.
No, scrap that. Hold that. When's your birthday?
It was the 30th of August. It's been and gone.
Happy birthday.
No, it's too late. It's too late. You've missed it.
Don't remind me that I'm aging. I mean, come on.
Would you like a donut?
Would I like a donut?
Where do we source donuts from? I thought we ate all Sam's donuts.
Can you not go and buy some more from the shop and get Alex one?
Okay, I'll go and buy a donut.
Yeah.
No, I love this. Yeah, I should thank you because you've helped me sort of gather some really good content. I love
Well,
doing this.
I know I say it every time, but you're the kind of glue that brings everyone together. You know, you go around and it helps with that supportive atmosphere. And there's so many shows I've been to where everyone's looking sideways at each other, seeing them as competition. And we haven't got that vibe here. And you really help with that.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's all about conversation, isn't it? Let's all
It
talk.
is.
Let's all talk.
Exactly. It just
You and
brings
Gary.
down the barriers.
No, but what you've done today, I mean, a lot of what we talk about, I mean, Mike Perkins, there's a few artists that have mentioned the community aspect of this, networking, meeting new artists, making new friends, seeing old friends. There's a lot of that that's what Drawn is.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
thank you for putting this on.
You're
And thank you for being the awesome you that you are.
I don't know
All
if
right.
I can take that. I want to own it, but
Yes, you should.
I'll think of the criticism.
You should do. Here's an apple, take it. And Pearl, thank you as well.
It's been my pleasure.
Wonderful.
Cheers.
So this interview has been a year in the making because last year we did this and
we had a little problem.
we did have a problem because for some reason I don't know what, it's never happened to me before. I do festivals all across Shropshire and I forgot to hit record.
Yeah.
My thumb must have slipped and I remember going through because what I did last year is I listed everyone I spoke to. As I spoke to him,
That's it.
I came to your name,
And I was really nervous.
and the audio wasn't there, and I was like, what? What? Where's the audio? So,
It's fine. It happened.
the Jazz from Happy Days Jewellery, how the heck are you? We're good.
I am fabulous. I'm really hot. Really hot. But
A bit cooler in this room, I think, than upstairs.
I know. It's
What?
so bright down here. Upstairs is like chill vibes. There's a DJ.
Yeah, he's nice. He has rugs. He's great.
He's so cool. I've literally just been dancing.
Yeah?
Selling some jewellery, dancing.
He said to me, because I do a weekly radio show, and I was like, oh man, I'd love to come and have a go at your controller. He's like, yeah, come and have a play in a bit. Too busy. Can't go play.
It's been so busy.
Yeah, and the state of mind I'm in at the moment, I'll probably do some crazy wicka breakdown. You know what I mean? Like,
Just click those buttons.
absolutely. So let's talk about Happy Days and you as an artist. Where does this all come from for you?
So,
And what is it first? I mean, what is Happy Days? What is it you make, and then where did it come from? That's probably the best way to do it.
So Happy Days is obviously my business. It's a small little business, and it's handmade jewellery. And it's either wire-based, so aluminium wire earrings or necklaces, and then all the beads I use are pre-loved from second-hand jewellery. So I like to pop to some charity shops.
And that's what I love about your stuff as well, by the way. That's about the interview last year. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get into this, because I love the fact that you do pre-loved jewellery and beads. So, yeah. So you charity shops around here, or?
Yeah, so charity shops in Shrewsbury.
Amazing.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Some people give away some beautiful necklaces. Other people give away some interesting necklaces. I see them, I'm like, I can see why you've given it away, but
I'm gonna
that's where
repurpose
I
it.
come along. Exactly. So I'll buy it, cut it up, give it a clean, and then I get to the drawing board and I'm like, right, what can I do with these beads? And I just give them a new life. So
Were you the kind of person as a kid that used to just like taking things apart?
I actually
Because I get that vibe from
Do you I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Blue Planet or Art Attack. It was one of them. And this guy used to just grab random stuff out of his shed and make artwork from it. So like paintbrushes, screwdrivers, like random little bits and tools.
It wasn't
And he'd
bits of this, bits of that.
Yeah, literally bits of anything
yeah.
from his shed, and he'd have it flat on some grass, and he'd do like a massive like painting, and then you'd see it at the end, and it would be like, whoa. I don't know if you'd call it a painting, 'cause it's like made from physical things.
Yeah.
Piece of art,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
And I actually used to do that. So my dad's got a workshop, and I'd go into his shed and just be like, oh, what can I have? And he'd just chuck all this random stuff at me, and I'd make a piece of art on the floor in the garden.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I kind of wish he had photos to like, show me, but
There's something
living
really
in the
nice about giving something a new lease of life, I think.
yeah.
I think.
Well, I'll tell you what, I get such a buzz from it. Like, especially to see someone walk past the market and be like, oh, this is so different. I haven't seen this before. And then they buy it. I'm like, whoa. Like 2 years down the line, and I'm still the same feeling of how it was 2 years ago. Like, to see people wearing my jewellery, it's like, okay, this is serious. Okay.
Your jewellery it really does take. I see people wearing the booby lady.
Oh, that's so popular.
I was walking around yesterday, and somebody was saying, "Oh, who are you going to speak to?" And I was like, "I'm going to speak to the booby lady girl." And they looked at me, and I was like, "No, you don't understand. I wasn't being inappropriate. There's a reason why I said booby lady. Don't look at me. Those dreadful eyes, you."
I get it a lot. They're like, "Oh, you're the booby lady girl, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." People around must be like, hey up, what is she doing? Like, the booby lady girl, what is this?
Do you know what I did the other day? I used to work as an actor at Shrewsbury Prison, right? So, and I used to take my little boy to the play barn there, and I used to sit and edit, and it was really good, right? Cool. So that's the prequel to the story I'm about to tell you. We were at George Ezra, went to watch George Ezra the other day, and we're enjoying the gig. And we used to listen to Paradise by George Ezra on the way to the play barn, right? So I lean into my kid and I go, hey, Timmy, this reminds me of prison. And my wife's like, what are you doing?
Oh, no, that's a little bit worse than booby lady, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, no, you don't understand, but it's too late.
Is it one of them where you feel like you had to tell everyone about?
Yeah, but
like,
it's in a concert full of 15,000,
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But there's a purpose for it. That means that your product is growing. People are wearing it and talking about it more. So.
Yeah, that's it. It's definitely like, you see it, in people's ears and it's like a conversation starter. You're like, wait, what is that? Is that what I think it is? Like, these little kids yesterday thought they were like dogs. And that's the thing, because it's like abstract artwork. It can be whatever you want it to be, but obviously I label it as Booby Ladies because that's like my intention.
Where's the Booby Lady come from?
So, my first year of college, my college tutor will kill me for this, but I cannot remember the artist that I was studying, and it's basically continuous line work. So we'd have like a pen, pencil, paintbrush, whatever, and you'd basically not take it off the piece of paper.
Like an Etch-a-Sketch, but...
Literally, yeah, like that. So you literally just draw whatever. And at the time, I was doing lots of like abstract faces, and I thought, why am I just doing faces? Let's try and do a body. And I don't know how, but I just did this Booby Lady design. I think I did 3 ladies, and I did them with faces, and it looked incredible. I was literally like, okay, Jazz. Like, I'm rubbish at artwork. I don't know why I did art, but I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, this would be really cool.
How many artists do you think hate the fact that they took art but are actually really, really talented?
Probably, I don't know. You never know. There could be a lot, yeah.
So you were impressed with what you made, and
yeah, I've still got it to this day. Like, it's under my bed. It's I should have it in a frame, but yeah, I feel like I should take it to my markets to say to people like, this is where it came from, because obviously wire is like continuous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was hard, like 2 years ago, trying to do the design. It was awful. I look back now, I'm like, how did they sell? Like, they're so rubbish. Obviously, they're not rubbish, but I've just got better now. It's been like 2 years.
A bit like me with the biscuit. I listened back to a previous episode. In fact, somebody asked me for it was an episode we did like 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was Ben Butler, actually. And he was like, can you send me the link for the interview that we did? So I did. And it came up with my old logo, and it's all squished, like, and I was like,
oh no,
what was I even thinking? Like, why did I do that? And then I listened back to it, and I'm like, so you grow as you go all along, and it's good if you can see those steps. It's good.
That's it. You learn so much every day, and at events like this, you meet such incredible people, you take inspiration, and some kind people even give you ideas. They're like, oh, have you tried doing this? And then you're like, no. And then you can go home.
Let me just write that down.
Yeah. Keep them going. Just sit with me and tell me all the ideas. Yeah, it's cool. It's really, really cool. Like, events like this just make me feel even more, like, powerful. Like, I just want to go home, even though I'm knackered. Like, I want to go home and just make some new stuff.
That's good, though. It's good that it gives you a bit of drive. And I think the exhausting thing, we were just talking about it now, is like, it's about being on, isn't it? Like, you've got, I guess with some art, you've got to sell yourself as well as the art.
Yeah, people love to see your face behind the business. Yeah. They really love to. So you literally, like, you've got to be, like, active the whole day.
Yeah, if you
like,
sat back in your chair picking food out your teeth...
like on your phone or something, that's not the vibe. That's not what people want. Whereas if you're there saying hello, asking how their day's been, and just, speaking to them about everything.
And I feel I'm always conscious about it, because... I'm always walking around with a biscuit T-shirt on or something, and I feel like I've got to represent. It sounds daft, but that picture of Ben Affleck with a cigarette, where he's blowing it out, is famous now. I imagine that day he'd gone around and done the Ben Affleck thing, been the celebrity he's supposed to be, and that half a second where he's just taking a load
chilled
off.
And been himself.
That's it. That's the picture they got. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, like, there's real humans behind every single business, and like, we're normal people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could come to a market one day and be really like happy, excited, motivated, but then other days you might have had a really bad week, and you feel a little bit like ugh. But you've still just got to be,
Those days, we all have days. I have days where I've got deadlines and I've got editing and I've got emails and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this. How do you create something as beautiful as what you make with the art and the jewellery when on the bad days?
Thank you. So I think what motivates me is, one, people around me, like my family, my friends, my boyfriend. They are all so motivating, and obviously I speak to them, like, if I'm having a bit of a bad week or a bad day. I just speak to people about it, and obviously it makes you feel better. And the best part is my workshop is in my garden. There's foxes, there's owls, there's all these birds, and nature makes me happy.
Oh, nice.
So to be making jewellery with my bifold doors open in my workshop, listening to the nature, that literally switches my mood. Like, I can have a really crap day, but I'm in my shed and, yeah.
Doing what you love.
That's it.
And I think a lot has got to be said about having a good support around you.
Oh, that's like, you need it.
My wife deserves a medal, honestly, because millions of medals, because like I won't flip out. I'll just be like, oh my, why is this? How am I? And she'll be like, it's fine. It's
That's
okay. It's
it,
fine.
yeah.
And I'll be like, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. It's fine, Alex.
That's it.
And she dropped me off today. She picked me. She does all these things, and then I'll go home and I'll sit and I'll edit and ignore my family or something. And you know, it's picking up those pieces for us while we go through those bad days.
They're like the backbone of the business, essentially. Obviously, you know, it's my business, but my mum's the one that will really help me, like, get motivated the night before. Like, she'll be like, have you got this? Have you got this? Or you forgot this last time, make sure you've got this. Like, the people around you, that is literally what can keep you going.
Wonderful.
And also doing what you love, because I love making jewellery. I really, really do.
I follow you on Instagram, and your Instagram's super positive, and I love that. You make people smile, and I think that's really good. How can people buy your jewellery and take a look?
Okay, so my Instagram is Happy Daze Jewellery, but it's spelt without the first couple of A's because someone has got the username Happy Daze Jewellery. So it's HPPYDZE and then jewellery. And there's a link to my website, which is happydazejewellery.co.uk. And I announce all my markets on my website and my Instagram. So if you wanted to see it in person, just keep in the loop with that.
Wonderful.
And I am in Hopefully Coffee, the coffee shop, until the end of September, which is soon. This year has gone so quick.
Yep.
Honestly, I've actually got, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Ever since we did the last podcast, I was like, I've always wanted to ask this question. So, the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.
Yeah.
Why biscuit? Where's the biscuit come from?
Because of the Shrewsbury Biscuit. There's a biscuit in that's named after Shrewsbury. The true meaning behind it comes from a Ross Noble gig. Do you know Ross Noble, the Geordie comedian?
I'm afraid I don't. No.
So I was in a gig in Oakengates in Telford, and he was like, because you know there's a rivalry between Telford and Shrewsbury. And he was like, I'm going to throw some Shrewsbury biscuits in the crowd. And everybody looked at him gormless, and he goes, you don't even know your rival town has got a biscuit named after it. What? Like, that. So then I moved to Shrewsbury, not knowing anything about the town, and then I found out about the Shrewsbury Biscuit, and it kind of all clicked. I learned about the town, as the listeners do. And there is a place on Castle Street by the library. There's a great building and there's a plaque.
Yeah.
And it says this is the birthplace of the Shrewsbury cake, which became the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Seriously?
Yeah. You know the little biscuits that you usually get in hotels or in the...
Yeah, I've seen them in a few shops.
Yeah.
I was thinking if it had anything to do with that, or if, like, you know, biscuit could be like a funky nickname of yours, or...
I'll get the biscuit guy.
Biscuit guy,
the biscuit guy quite a bit.
I've heard the biscuit guy.
Yeah. And
that's just always interested me.
And Timmy, my kid's the mini biscuit. He comes around. He's got his own T-shirt with mini biscuit written on the back. It's quite cool.
My God.
There he is there on the banner.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
mini
great.
biscuit, I love that.
Mini biscuit. Right, we're doing a question relay this weekend. So we're asking guests to ask questions for the next guest, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So Pearl, Cherie's Pearl.
Oh, I love her.
She's amazing. She asked you.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know it was going to be you.
Oh.
Could you create something like this? She said.
Wow.
Something like drawn. Would you be able to manage an event of this scale?
Do you know what? I would really love to do that. Maybe not to start off this big, because this is like 2 floors. This is big, isn't it?
Yeah, and you go to markets all over the place, don't you? So,
I do, yeah. I've got good with markets now. Like, I'm confident enough to do them and everything. But to, like, actually run the event, I think I'd like to do that. I want to do, like, a little workshop to start off with, just my business, and then I don't know, it kind of depends how confident you are around, like, lots of people, because I can get quite anxious, but I think Shrewsbury is full of that many amazing businesses. I feel like I could, you know?
Shrewsbury's definitely the
I
place
think
for
I
it.
could.
Yeah.
Not as amazing as Cherie's because, you know, her events pop up every single year. Always amazing.
She's fantastic. We chatted for about 10-15 minutes, and she sat there for another 10-15 minutes catching her breath because
Really?
she's here, there and everywhere, isn't she? You know, she's doing an amazing job.
People will be like, oh, where's she gone? I'm like, well, she was here, and then she was here, and then she's here, so...
She sent Pearl out to get donuts, and Pearl ran donuts round for everybody.
Those donuts, because Pearl was so sweet yesterday morning, she kept being like, oh, can I help you with anything? Or like, everything like that. I was like, I'm going to get her a little treat. So I got her a little donut. And then today, she was like, Jazz, you've got me hooked on these donuts. Like, I literally had 6 for breakfast.
Where are they from again? Is it France?
So it's from Brown and Francis.
Brown and Francis,
yeah. The little, like, blue coffee shop. They are so lovely.
Are they independent? They're independent, right?
I think so.
Need to speak to them. Because their donuts were amazing.
Oh,
they're brilliant.
No, they're so good. I've got one waiting for me upstairs.
Nice one. Well, I won't keep you from that. But what I will ask you before you go is, have you got a question for our next guest? We don't know who it's going to be.
Ooh.
Something that might challenge someone.
Okay. Something challenging. I'm just getting basic questions come to my head, but I want it to be... That was such a good question from Pearl.
It was really good, yeah. Because at first she was like, can you go and buy me a donut? I was like... I was like, no, Pearl, I was thinking of something that could challenge an artist. And she was like,
oh my gosh.
Can you think?
So
and I was like,
funny.
well done. She's brilliant.
Maybe...
I love putting people on the spot. It's just,
I know, yeah. I'm
see the cogs turning in your head.
Instantly, like, obviously people can't see me, but I've gone from, like, looking at the biscuit man to now I'm looking in the air thinking, right, what can I ask? I want to ask something to do with, like, progression, so...
Oh, that'd be good.
Maybe, like, I don't want it to be too tense for the next person, but maybe 3 things that you would say have really helped with the progression of your business, because then it's, like, obviously giving advice to other people. I'm not actually sure how I'd answer that question. But
So 3 things that have helped in your progression.
yeah, for your business that you'd want to, like, share with people. Or maybe 2 things if 3 things is too many.
With your progression. Right, I'm writing this down, guys.
Yeah.
Progression. Whatever you spell
It's
that.
just good to share that type of thing, isn't it?
Really is.
Really good.
And do you know what?
Oh, come on.
No, I was going to say, like, I think you've been a breath of fresh air. It's like towards the end of the day, and everyone's a bit tired, and you said you're a little bit nervous when you come in here, but I think you've been really, really calm and chilled out, so it's been really nice.
That's good to hear.
No.
Thank you so much.
Lovely.
It's just a good vibe, isn't it? That's why.
I love the chatter in the background, the noise. I love that because you get a real feel of the environment.
That's it.
And there are lots of people here, by the way. It's really picked up.
It's really picked up. My mum is on the stall at the minute.
Yep. So we won't keep you from that. Let's go and make
no, that's all right. Don't worry.
You're enjoying chilling out now, aren't you? Like, oh, let's sit here for another 10 minutes.
Sitting down doing this.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? If you ever want to do this as a feature, you sit down and make some coffee for an hour or so, just sit and chat while you make stuff. That'd be really nice.
That would be ace.
Yeah.
I'll have you up on that one.
And look, this one's recording. Look, this one's recording.
Do you know what I should have said at the beginning? Is it definitely
It is
recording?
definitely recording.
Let me see. Oh, that's good then. That's nice. That yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for chatting to me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jazz. Thanks.
Thank you.
Right, so I'm speaking to Saffron Russell, who I've been dying to speak to all day, but it's been such a busy day for a Sunday, right?
It's been really busy, yeah. It's been a nice steady stream of people. So
I didn't expect that because last year it was kind of really mellow, wasn't it, on a Sunday?
Well, yeah, I didn't have a stand on the Sunday, but I came as a punter.
Yeah.
And it was very busy, like queuing for stalls and stuff. So it was very nice, yeah.
How have you been? I mean, we spoke to you last year. There was lots of good fuss about the BT boxes and how the art community had come together for all that. How's the year been for you since all of that drawn last year?
Yeah, so it was quite an exciting time for me because I hadn't really done anything sort of that big or public before. I sort of had just been drawing in my room, doing little commissions and stuff. So doing something, that people were watching you paint on the street was quite exciting. And then it was really nice to come here and like people actually sort of vibing with them and just sort of saying how much they enjoyed them. It was sort of, a very, just like a really friendly way to kind of start the drawing fair. And I hadn't really done any markets before then as well. So it just felt like a very wholesome kind of feeling.
No pressure, but a nice community, lots of support from fellow artists. And that's what we picked up on today. I mean, of course, we're going to be critically positive about this because it's the event we're sort of promoting. But it's true, guys. I mean, like, I've been here for 2 days, and all I've heard in the background are artists speaking to other artists and finding out how they do things, and people being really complimentary about work. And it's just been a really nice vibe. It must be a good, in a good way, a good boost for the ego. I am worth what I am worth. You know, you need that, don't you?
Yeah, and I think it's sort of more so as well. It's sort of, you get a feeling of like costing things and stuff can be quite stressful sometimes, and you often want to like lower things so that, you know, everyone can afford.
Love me.
Yeah. So it's nice to sort of be able to communicate with other people and be like, how much do you do with this, and what do you do, and sort of I don't know, maybe value your work a little bit more, because I'm very sort of, I don't know, sometimes I just try and sort of want to please everyone and want everyone to be able to afford everything, and sort of, but then lowering your cost then makes it worse for everyone else who's an illustrator as well.
Do you feel like you've got to play the long game with art sometimes? You've got to look at things in 6 months' time. So if I give away too much then, in 6 months' time, I'm going to be under pressure to make some work, to make the money, pay the bills, and it might affect my art. Does it work like that?
Yeah, and I think, you know, because you're often, I mean, at the moment, especially with like the sort of the like cost of living crisis and everything like that, it's sort of, there's a lot of pressure to try and make money with it, but at the same time, you know, you want to enjoy what you're doing, and so you kind of, I don't know, you need to make sure you're not just completely like wiping out from all of the energy you've put into making everything.
Exactly. And what have you been up to this year? Have you been working on many projects? Have you been?
Yeah, so I've been doing a bit of like random things this year. So I had to repaint my BT box in January because it got graffitied over, actually.
Oh, wow.
So that was an experience, which was really nice, actually, because people were really sort of nice about it, and the local businesses near it were really sweet. And I've got a part-time job now as well at Bakehouse & Co. in the town, and that's been really nice. Sort of put the pressure off, like just earning from illustration 24/7.
Well, at least if you've got like a job in a place like that, you can be like, oh, you know, I do art as well, you know. Want to buy it?
Yeah, and their bread is amazing. So free bread now and again, which is quite nice. Yeah, so I sort of it's given me a bit more opportunity to just make my own stuff, so like prints and stuff. Because before then, I was sort of constantly just trying to get commission work and stuff. So I've actually put effort in this year to make like prints and art.
Has any work come on the back of those BT boxes for you personally? Have people looked at them and gone, I want her for this?
Yeah, I've had 3 murals, I think, from the BT box, which was really nice.
Did you do the one by the Hive? The hill down the Hive?
No, that's Charlotte, actually, who I don't know if you've spoken to Charlotte yet. Charlotte Tisdale, she's just over there.
I haven't. Oh.
Yes, she does beautiful illustrations. She also did the one which Okra,
Oh, right.
Yeah, she did their shutters there. My other one was the Merman mural. I don't know if you've seen that down by the Hole in the Wall pub.
Yes. I was just down there just a second ago, and I was looking at it. I should have looked for a name, really.
Yeah. So that was a really fun one, actually. I really enjoyed that one.
But you know, you've got is it the Custard Factory? Is it the Mustard Factory? It was a place in Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
That's like I just butchered that completely. Then I have a room full of artists. That's crazy. But that's like an art capital of the UK, right?
Yeah,
that's like where lots of artists flock
definitely.
to. And I don't know, man. I'm getting a vibe about Shrewsbury now. There's all these amazing murals popping up.
Yeah.
There's
so
things
nice.
like Drawn. That's like these opportunities for artists to leave their sort of their calling cards, I guess. That's what these stalls are. This is what I am as an artist. And it seems to be developing. Do you get that feel that it's kind of growing?
Shrewsbury feels just so much more, like a much better environment for like creative people. I feel like there's so much support from other people, not just like other creators, but like the town itself seems a little bit more supportive. I mean, maybe it was before, but I've noticed it now.
Do you know what? I think you're right. I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years now, the Biscuit, and I have noticed a huge change.
Oh, that's
over the last sort of 3 years. And so, you know, there's lots of events popping up, and I'm seeing a lot more art sort of schemes coming into place. I think we've got, you know, places like the Hive.
The Hive's great,
and Drawn. and participate as well. They offer a lot of incentives for artists to go out there and make a name for themselves.
Yeah, and there's I don't know if you've spoken ever to Lovelyland. Claire does amazing projects, and I think like some of the projects. I mean, I was involved with one of her murals that was for Albert Road, the Adult Day Centre, and which is in Sundawn. So I think she's really good at getting art into places that aren't as fancy as and they'd get as much funding as the centre of the town. So I think which is really good.
Lovelyland is fantastic, and I've spoken to Claire a couple of times on the show. And Claire, if you listen to this, we're overdue a catch up, so we definitely need to do that. So thank you for reminding me.
I love Claire. She does amazing stuff, and
always
she has
see
so
it
much passion.
on a skateboard up and down.
Yeah, yeah, Claire's great.
I think we did an interview once. It was at one of the community gardens when they were doing and she came on a skateboard. And we sat in the garden. We did this amazing interview. She's fantastic.
No, Claire's so much fun, and she's just got so much energy for like making stuff happen, which I sometimes feel like I lack, and she's really good at like motivating.
We need that though, don't we?
Yeah, we definitely
need that.
We
need that person that's going to either motivate us or kick us up the backside. Come on, you need to kick this stuff.
And I've noticed that Aaron Child from Painted Life Productions, he's got his studio up and coming, so it just feels like Shrewsbury's getting a lot more, art happening and coming. So I'm excited.
I'm really excited by Highly Flammable, the studio, Aaron. I saw him yesterday. Come and give me a big cuddle, bless him. He's nice, isn't he?
He's so lovely.
He's a lovely chap. I love the prospect of having somewhere where someone can go and record, especially someone like me.
Yeah, someone like you.
I'm walking around empty shops in Shrewsbury and I'm going, Biscuit Studios. This is... I was looking at the old seafood restaurant on the corner here. My wife was like, it's too big, Alex. I'm like, nothing's too big for the Biscuit.
There are quite a lot of empty shops though, aren't there? So you do feel like you could. I mean, the one I think is like the big. What was it? The big warehouse that's in the middle of town. Was it
House of Fraser?
House of Fraser. I'm just like, that would be a great place for pop-ups and things like that.
It's massive, that place.
It's huge, isn't it? Yeah.
Biscuit Studios. I mean,
Biscuit Studios. We could have some art pop-ups.
One tiny little studio, right in the middle of the whole room, and then just everything else was vacant.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
No, but you're right. There's lots of empty space in Shrewsbury, and I'd love to have a studio, my own Biscuit Studios. But I think the main people that want to start doing podcasts. Studios for photography, Highly Flammable is fantastic. Yeah. But I think the way you phrased it is perfectly. It's a step in the right direction, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think once places like that pop up, you get more and more. And I feel like Drawn has been great for that. It's shown that like once that happens once, then you suddenly realise how many creative people are here, and you have more and more happen. I mean, I didn't know how many illustrators there were in Shrewsbury before the first Drawn, and now I've made like so many more friends who are also creatives, and it's really nice. It just makes you feel energized.
It's a great community, and the fact that I haven't been able to get to speak to so many people like Charlotte there. I'd love to speak. I think I spoke to her last year and said we should definitely get a podcast together because my mixers on one bar, I brought 2 sets of batteries and I've wiped them both out today by speaking to people. That goes to show you the scale of today. There are people upstairs I haven't spoken to. There's people in this room I haven't spoken to. So lots of potential there for future content. What are you going to be working on this year? Is there anything you're excited about that you?
Well, me and my boyfriend actually Lewis are working on a poetry pamphlet. Shout out to Lewis. He's a poet, so we've already done one pamphlet together, but we're working on a.
I remember you telling me about that last year. Yeah.
So we're working on the next one now.
How did that go? The first one?
It was really good. Yeah, it was a lot about sort of. Anti-austerity and Tory politics. So the next one has kind of continued in that vein because not much has changed. So we do live in a Tory town, so it's nice to have a balance of the other side. Not everyone.
Those are podcasts that we could sit and talk to about for a few hours. Yeah, especially with the new budget announcement.
Yes, wonderful things happening.
I'm really, really positive about that. I'd love to find out more about the pamphlet.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So I mean, this event has helped me out an awful lot as well. Because Cherie's helped. She's probably on a stage today.
Yes, I mean, this is amazing. Look at this place.
I know. She said next year she wants to do exactly the same, but bring like gold embroidered chairs and like a royal red background. I'm like, what? But I prefer this setup to. I think a couple of mic stands would have been better.
Yeah, although, you can move about a bit. So
yeah. There's no with the mics because these are good microphones. You want to hear that.
Yeah.
You're going to end because you're our last guest because I've got no battery left. We have been doing a question relay. So every single guest has had a question from the guest previous.
Ooh, interesting.
Well, you're not going to be able to give maybe you can ask me a question.
Okay, I'll ask you a question, yeah.
But Jazz from Happy Days Jewellery upstairs, lovely.
Jazz,
just spoke to her.
I'm wearing her necklace right now, actually. So,
fantastic.
All right, Jazz.
I was explaining to her yesterday, somebody was asking me, who are you speaking to next? And I said to someone, I need to go and grab the booby lady. And they looked at me weird. I was like, no.
Are you being offensive?
Yeah. Not at all. No, in any way misogynistic. But I appreciate where that sounds. She asks you, if you can name them, what 3 things have helped you with your progression, your company?
Okay. So one would be the first drawn, actually, and that's not just to big up this, like getting instant feedback from people on what they liked and what they didn't like. It can be quite brutal sometimes, but it definitely like makes you realize what your strengths and weaknesses are. 2 would be just what was it? What makes you improve?
3 things that have helped you with your progression.
Yeah. Just trying new techniques. Like this year I learned how to paint with acrylic. I've always been like a very big person like watercolors and gouache. And so this year I've been branching out and using a different medium. So that's definitely changed the way I work. And I think the third one is just like I've spent 2 years being fully freelance, which was a bit scary because I was like let go of my job in COVID. So I just went full-time freelance for 2 years. And it was a bit scary.
I imagine.
But it definitely just made you like put yourself out there more, take more risks, and it really made me grow as a person, I think.
I'm kind of, I know I come across as be ever optimist, but like I am very skeptical, and I don't see a glass ceiling, I see a glass trapdoor, right? When it comes to things like that. So I was explaining that one day maybe I could do the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast or, whatever it is as a full-time job, but I would need to see real results, like, line graphs that just hit the ceiling. I could definitely do this before I even decide to take that leap of faith because it's scary.
It is scary. I mean, thankfully, in a way, because of COVID, it kind of forced me to, so I didn't really have a choice. So I just I don't know if I would have done that if I hadn't have been had to do it. But I mean, I'm definitely glad now to have a part-time job again because it is a bit stressful.
The thing is, you've got a superpower, and I say this to a lot of artists, musicians, singers. To have that superpower means you'll always be able to find a way out of that. Even if it's just selling that one piece that gets you through the month,
sure,
you can make that.
Yeah.
Same as a mechanic can fix a car. Same as a doctor can save a life.
Yeah, you don't forget them, do you? Don't forget the skills.
Yeah.
And also it's so much fun. I love drawing. I've always loved drawing. So it's
If you're doing for a living that you enjoy, then you've won already, I think.
Exactly.
Right, I'll give you an opportunity then. You can ask me a question if you like, just to round that up. Okay.
So who have you spoken to today that you haven't spoken to before, and what did you like about what they're doing?
Ooh,
let's big someone up.
Let's have a look at who I've spoken to today, shall we? So I'm going to say, actually, Ash from DNS Studio, the T-shirts, because I was speaking to him and he explained to me his process, the whole hand stamp thing. Yeah. And it's made me appreciate the art behind a T-shirt design that's hand designed and handmade. So
their worth and their cost and their...
Yeah, exactly, especially in these trying times. So speaking to him and finding out about their processes and also about the collaboration with other artists.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from speaking to him.
That's really interesting, yeah.
And I've offered to take cameras and microphones to his workshop and really follow his process because I'm really, really drawn in.
Oh, you're drawn in.
Where's Alexander Westwood when we need him? Thank you for chatting to me today.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
We got this done. I think I did right by saving you to last because you're a breath of fresh air. You really are.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I mean, the Shrewsbury podcast is great. So I think more events like this, you can do more podcasts with people. Yeah,
that's what Cherie was like, I've got to thank you. I was like, no, I'll thank you. You've given me content to talk about. And I spent 2 days, there's probably, I keep saying that we got over 2 hours worth of content last year. I think we've topped that this year because
nice.
It's a natural flow of things, This event an event like this would normally leave me cowering in the corner. Do you remember the first night I came here on the first event?
Yeah.
I was really shy.
Well, I was extremely shy. I was like, you were like, does anyone want to talk to us? I was like,
We had
hiding
masks
away.
on, and it was this event's really drawn me out. It's really brought me out of my shell a bit, so I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to the listeners as well. Oh, where can people find you, by the way?
So I'm on at Saff Russell Art or saffronrussell.co.uk. So.
Brilliant. Commission this girl for art, buy some art off her, help support her. And thank you so much for tuning in to this bumper episode, or a couple of episodes, I don't know how we're going to do it, of our appearance here at Drawn. Thank you to everybody that's spoken to me. If you came to Drawn and you've supported these local artists, well done you. Thank you so much for supporting local independent artists. And Cherie, what an absolute legend for putting this on again and knocking it out the park. I feel like this event has got so much potential. It could be bigger. It can outgrow this building and even further, I believe. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Saf. Thank you, everybody. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Right then, quickly before we go, I just wanted to add a quick little note on the end of this. First of all, thank you so much to everybody that spoke to me at Drawn this weekend. I cannot argue with the quality of content you guys supplied to me. It was a weekend I was struggling. I've been quite vocal about that. I was definitely struggling, but you guys were knocked out of the park for me, so thank you so much. The most important thing I want to mention is that now our Pod Aid is out the way. By the way, Pod Aid was fantastic. We've raised so far £1,100 for Lincoln Davis. Thank you so much to everybody that supported us with that. I'm really proud that the event worked. It worked. We had a couple of problems, a couple of issues that we solved very, very quickly, but it worked. So I'm very happy with that, and we're going to expand on it next year. But no, I wanted to say now I have a clean palette. You know, the world is my oyster as far as the Shrewsbury Biscuit is concerned. So if you want to come on the show, or you know somebody that would be a great guest on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, please do get in touch. My door is always open. I like to speak to people from all walks of life. At the moment, I'm speaking to 4 or 5 different people that I'm going to schedule in. So whether it's a community project, or you own a business, or you're an artist like these fine guys on this episode, or you just got an interesting story to tell and you're local, please do just get in touch, because I'm always looking for great guests. Thank you so much for all your support. It's been really nice to see the biscuit growing into what it has been. I love to hear off you guys. I like it when people stop me in the street and talk to me about the Shrewsbury Biscuit. It's happening more often now, and I love it. I really do. So thank you so much for your support. And I'll let you go after this very long podcast. It's been really great. Peace out, guys.